we're going to be doing something a little interesting when we are jumping into the minds of different people doing 28 tricks later in a different kind of way. We all know 28 tricks later as time to challenge yourself to see how much Dama you can sesh and to kind of, I guess, just push yourself to the next step. Now, this is something that we've been doing for years now, since Christian Fraser inaugurally, unofficially made it a thing, and now it is certainly official. Still hosted by Sweets, but people have been taking it in a few different ways. There's been so many different variations of it, myself included, because I always felt that instead of bringing the same kind of thing, instead of challenging myself, I want to kind of bring something to the table that maybe other people haven't seen, or something that is a little entertaining. I mean, this year I'm doing something, teaching a little bit of Japanese and stuff, but we're going to be talking in the next few weeks to a few different people who have been taking 28 tricks later and the concept of it and tilting the shit so it's not straight on, beautiful, clear. It still could be beautiful because we can learn a lot from it. We're going to be having Nick Gallagher to see what his version this year. What up, Nick?
What's up, MJ? How are you?
Doing good, doing good. But dude, thank you so much for making this happen this morning. I think everyone, hopefully other people are excited for this too. So everyone, we're going to be talking to Nick again about his 28 tricks later, his concept of it. So I have a few questions, but I also want to open up the table so everyone can have a question to ask Nick as well. So if you're here hanging out, put it in the comment question, that little tool down there, and ask Nick a question specifically about his 28 tricks later concept. Okay, we might hit some of those questions or answer them from our talk that we're going to have right now, but still hang out and hopefully enjoy it. So Nick, traditionally, how many how many 28 tricks later have you done in the past? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. It's so from 2018. So I started in 2018. That was my first one. And then I did it for 6 years straight, 2018 through 2023, just all tricks. And then this year, I've still participated in my own way, but I obviously got a different concept this time around. But yeah, for 6 years straight, I just posted every single day, 28 tricks. And I just thought this year that, so I guess this would be my 7th year. Yeah. 7th.
Yeah, exactly. You're still participating. You're still doing something every day. Just like Skaggs posted the other day, him working on kendama as a social media advisor for or manager for Chrome, like that's adding a few notches to the kendama world sphere tick, Mark, moving it up little by little. So I'm sure that has been a challenge for you to do the past 6 years, because I know you as a player, Nick, you hold yourself to a high standard, and most of the tricks when you post, especially in the past, they had to be, you had to hunko them with the Gallagher hunko, the stamp of approval.
Yeah, man, it's I actually learned a lot through my first couple of years of 28 tricks later. The first year I was super insecure about my tricks, and I didn't, even though they were super difficult and harder than mostly anybody's out there, because at the time 2018 was a really good year for me. Everything was going my way. And I was still just so insecure about my tricks. So I thought I had to be lacing MBDs every single day. And so it was the first year it was weird for me. It was a good learning experience. And then I keep learning throughout those years that, with 28 tricks later, everybody knows it's, to do something 28 days in a row, we as kendama players, we know that it's not going to go just our way every single day,
Right.
The progress isn't going to be linear. The journey isn't, the path isn't going to be super smooth. There's going to be bumps. There's going to be days where you aren't meant to get what you want. You literally aren't supposed to. It's too busy. You're just missing the last spikes. Things aren't happening. Like, that is supposed to happen. And I think as kendama players, firstly, if anybody just does it in general, just the way it's meant to be, like 28 tricks, kendama tricks, you're going to learn a lot more about yourself just by going through that experience, in a way, with your, not only kendama, but who you are as a person.
Yeah.
You're going to and hopefully if it goes well, you're going to end up walking out of 28 tricks later feeling very, very proud of what you've accomplished over a 28-day span. Because if you dedicate any time, any 28 days to something certain, like no matter what it is, you're going to go through all these learning curves and then come out the other side like, wow, I really put the time in and all of that, and it paid off. You know, you're going to come out a different person. And I personally felt like I've learned something from 20 tricks later every single year. So just even by doing tricks, I know all kendama players out there who have participated, they know exactly what happens when you stick to something for 28 days straight, because it's going to be good every single time. At the end, it's going to suck in the middle. But
the funny thing is, I always thought about was we kendama players, we always play kendama. You're playing every day still, regardless of if there's a challenge looming over you or not. But I think the extra additive stress is that whole, getting a trick that you're proud of, that you want other people to be proud of too, which can be good, but it shouldn't be the deciding factor, I feel. Like, I always thought, like, if you're stoked on it, that's awesome. Just like, I remember a quote from Rod in a past Nerds episode. He's like, defining what is a kendama player. And he's like, dude, if you hit a big cup, you're a kendama player. If you're still stoked on it, if you are passionate enough to just continue those big cups and the reps, you're a kendama player, because that's where we all started. Just trying to get that big cup, like consistently. So it's a really interesting thing that how 28 tricks later, it's still something that we do every day, which is play kendama, but it's put on this different kind of pedestal, which can add stress to it. So for everyone doing it, of course, who's done in the past, like, amazing props. It's still an awesome thing. And as Nick was saying, you're going to learn something even if you don't successfully, because there's no, I think that's where there's stress of it. It's not a competition. Successfully, if you complete them all or not, you can still learn something from it. So let's go into why, Nick, you're focusing on your type of concept that you're doing this year, because this year there's 0 tricks, but there's a lot of information that you've gained from your years of doing tricks.
Yeah, and I will say first, like, if I do land a trick this month, I'm going to post it. I'm still playing a lot. I'm still filming every day, so I'm not going to not post it. But I haven't landed anything yet on camera during the first week. So no. But so this year I was looking at my goals for what I want to achieve in the next couple months, and even with this month, I thought of filming a trick every day, because I know how hard this is. Like, I know how hard 20 tricks later is to do every single day without fail, posting something every single day, filming, going out of your way to do that, edit. Like, I know how hard it is, and I know that it would take a lot of time. And with what I'm trying to do for myself right now, I wanted to, instead of doing, regular tricks every year, I wanted to spin it off and kind of challenge myself in a different way and speak to the camera just like this, like holding the phone like this to myself every single day for 28 days, I guess 29 this year. But to me, like, this isn't something I've ever done before. Like, I've been in front of cameras a lot, whether it's in a kendama edit, filming an unboxing video, pro model specs. I've done that. I've gotten more comfortable with that. But taking your camera out and going like this, just to your face and just talking, I'd never done that in my life, and I'd always wanted to, and in some shape or form, when it felt comfortable, I would try to, and then I would take so many retakes that I'd be like, maybe I'll just do this. And coming around to February, I was like, okay, in order to grow in the way I want to, I just need to commit and commit for 28 days, just for this month, make 28 tricks later my own thing. And I'm just calling it, I wasn't going to call it 28 videos later for myself. I'm just going to call it 28 messages later, because I'm trying to share 28 or 29 different messages that I feel like important for me to get out there, or just things that, people would appreciate to hear in their daily lives, whether it be related to kendama or not. I'm mostly going to have all these related to kendama, but if there's a story that I want to share that I experienced sometime this month that isn't, I will. I feel like it's important, but it's mostly just a test for me. Like, that's the main reason why I wanted to do this. And is it okay if I keep talking? for a bit. Like, I'm gonna just keep.
Yeah, dude. No, keep going. Yeah,
it's rolling in. The first, yeah, it was firstly just for me because I wanted to grow in this way and get myself more comfortable in front of the camera like this.
I think that's one of the big thing. Like, just having a deadline or having some sort of pressure can put you into a place where you have to survive. It's fight or flight kind of scenario.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not like dire to your life, but it is a point where you felt comfortable for a long time just being behind the camera playing kendama in your case, but there's this inkling of talking more, giving your message out, talking to the people. And this was a time for you to be like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And this will, yes, it might suck. Well, it's definitely going to suck. To any creators out there, if you're artists, if you're like film, like anything, your first shits are going to suck. And you just have to like accept that, because that's the only way you can grow though. The first thing, especially artists, like when I'm doing like drawings and stuff, this is something that I've always had in my mind. Every piece of paper, every drawing you do has to be like the masterpiece. And I think that connects with, your kendama play of you want it to be the best, but you need the reps to get better. So same with illustration, with a drawing, like I need to do this stuff. I need to suck and I need to sketch out before I get to a place where I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. But then even still, we're all our own worst judge. So it's just, this consistency, the challenge of doing it. And that's one great thing with 28 Tricks Later. So just wanted to add that as well as like, I can understand, that point, that pressure to push you in front of the camera, to speak, to don't worry about all those, kind of brain fart situations, and just post, because in the end, the message that you want to send out is stronger than those like little road bumps, those ums and ohs that you messed up.
Yeah, 100%. I like that you touched on the daily reps, getting the reps in, because that's really all it is. And as kendama players, we know exactly how skill acquisition works. We literally know, like we've felt it so many times throughout our years playing kendama. The more you put into a certain trick, the more input you put in towards practicing for a competition, filming trick, anything, we already know what's going to happen. We're going to get the result. Yeah. It might not happen when we think it's going to happen, and it might take longer than we think, but it's just going to go that way. So if you apply that same mindset to anything else, just like I'm doing here with this, it's like, yeah, of course it's going to suck at first. These past 8 days, I've already noticed like so many things about the way I talk. And okay, I can fix this there. I could change my tone there, or I'm just having all these mental cues just coming up. Like, okay, there's room to grow here. And it's especially, I want to just retouch on what you said about not worrying about having to do 100% effort or 100%, I guess,
doing perfect kind of,
every single day. Because honestly, if you were to do something at the end of the day, if you do something half your effort every single day, or 40%, or something that's not the greatest every single time, if you keep building that up, it's like you're getting the reps in more than anybody else who even tries to essentially do this. Most people, right? Most people won't do something for this long, 28 days. I had a call.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're back.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I just think getting the reps in is more important than most things. And especially for me, another point I wanted to do this month is because I've noticed how much I've been able to connect with my followers, with kendama players, people who resonate with what I'm putting out there. And I've connected with them on a deeper level than I ever have in all of my kendama career. And I've been, that's for me, that's pretty big, because being who I am in the kendama community, that's already massive. I already have more opportunities than 99% of players in the entire world. I've already made more of an impact than most pro players in the entire world. I've become world champion. I've done all these things. I've had these on paper, these maxed out stats. So it's where it seems like, oh, you can't impact people, you can't connect with people deeper than this. But after 6 months ago, I decided to start sharing more of my own personal thoughts, my opinions, my beliefs, my other interests. And it's a little scary at first, right? Because like most kendama players, all we do, at least for me, for the past 11 years,
Yeah.
11 and a half years, I just posted kendama, just kendama, nothing else.
That's it. Yeah.
The kendama, and it's not like I felt pressure, but I just felt like if I posted anything else, there wasn't a place for it on my Instagram, or it just didn't feel right. So
right. And the only words you could say are "let's" and "go." Like that's it.
Seriously, no, seriously, it was stoked. Let's go. Like these words.
Yeah.
Every post, every
yeah,
you know?
Yeah, which are totally fine, but it's it finds you into this confinement box of like, this is what works, this is what I should keep on doing. But in the end, as you're growing, and I'm sure everyone's going to get there, you know, once you become an old like me, you look at life in a different way. You see the perspective change, and you notice that who cares? Because we are doing this for ourselves, as well as to connect with people and to kind of share something. And I think that's what you and you know, Broski is doing. Yeah. Very, very strong, that you've kind of like focused in on. And I see that it definitely connects with what you guys have been just again focusing in on within the past few months, the beginning of this year.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just hitting me so hard because I've been posting all these tricks all my life, and then I start posting different things like these videos every day, or things in my stories like thought-provoking questions, or things that I think about that I want others to like maybe get their opinion on or something like that. You just end up getting these messages on, wow, Nick, like I can you know really relate to this, or wow, this really helped me. Thank you so much for saying this. You didn't know how much I needed to hear this morning on this day. Wow, Nick, I have the same passion. Wow, we can connect about this. You just end up connecting and impacting people on a deeper level who have been following you all your life and may have been your biggest fan or one of your biggest supporters, but they never just knew when to reach out to you, or they never knew if they could, because all you were doing were posting tricks, and they only knew the kendama side of you. Once you start,
sesh monster. Because there was no personal line that they could see to grab, to pull from, to connect with them. And now once you speak your mind, which, as you're saying, is can be scary, you're putting yourself out there, but that's also what connects people. I mean, greatest example is probably Danny, Kendama Goat.
Oh, yep.
100% himself. You either love him or you don't, and that's totally fine, and he's fine with that, but that's where the connection is super strong. So it's really awesome that's what you're going through. So I would want to cut through, and some of the things that I've noticed with your concepts that you've been pushing, kind of self-help, mental health, physical eating, are these kind of things that you've thought of, that you've been wanting to express, or have you been just on the day, okay, this is a focus?
So I've definitely written out ideas of what I want to talk about this month, because I think it just helps me get the process going faster on each day. They're mostly I mean, like I said, just talking and just getting these thoughts out there. I mean, back when Zach and I started our podcast 2 months ago, like I'm bringing back some of those points into 1-minute versions for Instagram, things like that.
Micro G.
Micro G and putting 1-minute videos up here. So I definitely plan. I just write down topics. Sometimes I write about what I want to talk about, just to like free write for a couple minutes, just see what comes out, and then we can just adjust from there. But it's definitely it's half of them have been spontaneous so far, half of them haven't. But these are all things that I've just naturally been thinking about for so long. And then I'm not forcing anything either. I'm talking from personal experience, from things I've really felt for myself. And I don't really feel like I'm fronting anything. I think it's just all these bottled up thoughts and feelings that I've just holding on to for so long. And I've only really been able to talk to I've only been able to talk to these like with certain people about these things. Like I talked to my brother about a lot of, I talk to my brother more than anybody. And then, as I've been going through
telepathy, right?
I don't even have to use my phone. I can just no, but it just feels really good to at least get it out there, right? Because it's scary for a lot of people to do that and just post more about or publish more about themselves because they're afraid of, they might not think about it, but they might be self-conscious or afraid of other people's opinions or how it's going to be perceived, even though they know that it's going to go well, but they just don't know. It just feels awkward. And I've come to realize, like, not everyone's going to agree with you no matter what. If you start being your authentic self, not everyone's going to like everything you post. You're going to get hate comments. You're going to get, backlash. It's just going to happen. And people are going to say these things about you and have, oh, wow, I didn't know you'd think like that. But it's really cool if you're able to accept that. And you can, because at the end of the day, there's a little amount of those people there, but all the people you're touching and impacting, oh man, it goes way beyond that. And, I feel like I've changed in the past couple of days myself, just really being like, wow, it's being more comfortable and kind of just respecting other people for what they do even more, because it just takes a lot to get yourself out there like this. And while I won't say it's like the biggest struggle for me in the world, it's still something I had never done before,
Yeah.
It's new. So it's a growing experience. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. That's super cool to see. And I'm sure, like, again, with the G-Pod that you started with Zach, I'm sure that has definitely helped give you a good foundation to now go on here on social to be able to do it, one-on-one. Pretty much it's you and the audience, the fans that you're talking to, everyone.
Absolutely.
So what was the initial drive to decide to do this? Just to become a better speaker, to get this stuff off your chest, because you didn't want to lay so much Dhamma because you've already been doing that?
Well, yeah, first off, this year, I just didn't feel like I was going to do 20 tricks later the normal way. I just knew in my heart that, I've been committed every single year for 6 years straight. But I felt that this year, it's just not going to happen with where I'm putting my priorities right now. And I still want to participate. So I don't think I was neglecting kendama. I was just trying to find a different way to kind of, because I'm still playing every single day. But I was just trying to.
You have to. It's your job.
But I think the main drive for this was, like I said, to just practice it for myself, just to improve the communication skills. I know it's going to be very, very helpful in the future. It is something that I've been meaning to practice for a long time, over the past couple of months, and I saw no better opportunity than to take this and kind of make it my own with the 28 messages thing I'm doing. I actually, at first, was like, should I do videos every day or should I live stream? Because I want to do a live stream every single day. Maybe realistically, next month, I'm not sure if that could happen.
Yeah.
But in April or something along the line, I want to start live streaming daily or have that challenge for myself, live streaming a lot more.
Yes.
Because especially in someone in my position, right, at the top of the kendama game, as someone who's, Zach and I, I'm just going to throw us in together here, because we're both doing this right now.
Attached at the hips.
We're both, at the top of the game. And for me to do something like this and give these messages to other players and people who look up to me or other advanced players in the game, everybody, just getting this insight from more of who Nick Gallagher is and what he's about. I mean, when I was 12 and looking up to pros, I would have killed to know more about them. I wanted to know so badly what Colin Sander was doing on a Saturday, or wow, oh my God, he's in the woods. Like, oh, wow, what is he doing in Japan right now? Like, if I saw any behind the scenes, I would flip out. That's why I've seen the Kendama USA, behind the scenes footage, like 2 hour long edit.
That 2 hour,
I've watched that so many times because I loved it so much. I loved knowing more.
Putting the button up in that like 4 turn up airplane,
right?
Or grinding,
I think it's a long,
so many good
video effort, but I wanted to just know more about who these people were because, you can obsess over somebody and fall in, get your favorite pro just by seeing their tricks and whatnot. But man, just to feel more of them and like, oh, they're actually real people. Oh, they have these thoughts. Oh, they talk like this. It just feels so good to just kind of like, in a way, get to know them better, even if you're not right in front of them. So to me, it's like, if I'm doing this, I'm giving people an opportunity to know about more of what I'm about. And then two, it just helps people feel like they can talk to me easier, because I've gotten a lot of messages over the past 8 days just about how each message is resonating with certain people, it's pushing them, or it's just something they want to talk about more. It's just been really, really cool.
Yeah. To go out and to connect with people on a deeper level than just,
absolutely,
hey, let's do a doubles or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the biggest thing you want to have people take away from your messages?
That's huge. I want kendama players to feel more comfortable to kind of show more about themselves, just like I'm doing right now. I talked about it in,
I think that was your third or something. Yeah,
I think I talked about this publishing you're publishing yourself more.
Yep.
Right. I mean, we just talked about how I would kill to see more of pros and their personal sides and things. And I don't think kendama players realize how much perspective and value they each have to give to the world. I think that's most people, to be honest, because everybody has something to talk about. But in the kendama space, we all just post tricks. It's all flooded with, just literal tricks, and that's it. I can't watch everybody's clips. I'm not scrolling on Instagram for that long anymore.
Totally. Even with it, especially within this month, it's almost like I'm overload.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna miss stuff, and especially the past couple of years, I don't know why, but I almost felt like it's been in a little bit of like a lull, like a
plateau,
like a dull play. Yeah, for sure. And I just think everything's getting a little more repetitive. I don't hate that people are posting tricks. Yeah, I love to post tricks too. I love that stuff. But
it keeps this going. Yeah,
more people talked about more of what they were about. Like I know Kareem, Peaches and Kareem on Instagram is writing. Doing kind of what in a sense I'm doing, but he's just writing it out. I'm doing the version. But it's the same things like that, right? People appreciate that. Like people appreciate knowing more about what you're thinking and just kind of feeling like they can relate to you in some way. So I want the end goal of this to kind of inspire others to come out of their shell a bit, challenge themselves to maybe get in front of the camera like I am, or just sharing more of their personal thoughts online or on their Instagrams, because I know so many people would benefit from seeing their friends or seeing their idols, seeing their favorite pros come out and talk more about themselves and be more relatable, because I know that even though there are a lot of grown-ups in kendama now and adults, there are still people out there, no matter what the age, putting some people on pedestals, right? Like the highest pros, this really good amateur player, or just people with really high skill that might be intimidated by these people in some way, shape, or form, and they might have this he's just this god figure or something like that. Because I know that exists. Like people still think that, and just giving them a chance to connect with you more, man, you're not only going to make that person's day, but you're going to, who knows, spark a connection that you might find very, very important to you later on. It might go very deep. So I think people I want people to know it's how much you can get out of publishing yourself more on Instagram or any social media.
Yeah, definitely. Oof. So let's awesome talks. I know, we're all busy people. You're in your car when you got to get going maybe, but in any case, everyone, hopefully you're enjoying this talk. This is a really interesting one with Nick, and now not only you, Nick, but your brother as well have started this G Standards kind of community, helping players get better. Now, can you tell me a little bit about that and how it connects with the concept that you have for this month?
Yeah. How it connects to the concept, I think, personally, how can I connect those two? I know that videos like this, I'm just going to try and connect right off the bat, and then I can tell you. Research is, I think, as I've experienced myself, getting videos from certain people I look up to in video formats, not just text messages, not just voice messages, but video messages, I found to be the most impactful for me. And not only actually paying attention to them, but it actually just hits me the hardest. I feel like I'm connecting, have this, I don't know, it's more personable, right? Like this video message. It's not just text, not just audio, it's both. It's not text, but it's face, audio, you get to see what's happening, right? And I've loved videos in the past for people I look up to right now. I see their videos, wow, like I want to be like that guy. I really want to be like this person. He's so confident. He's so about his message. He's so just really talking from the heart and really believing in everything he's saying and having that confidence to put it out there. And so I want to become someone who is like that for kendama players who are in G standards right now and people who want to talk and follow me online regardless. So that's kind of the connection there. I just want to be more vibrant and more true on screen.
Yeah.
So G standards, and it's so new, but it's already so good. Zach and I, so G standards in a sense is we are trying to raise the standards of what it means to actually be a kendama player. There's a lot of people. It started off first with, there's never been anything like a coach figure in kendama. There's never been, and especially from two of the highest people in the entire game, there's never been any opportunity like that. Like there has been in other sports, and every other sport you can think of, there's been these coaches, there's been these guidance, there's been these programs, there's been this everything.
Yeah.
There hasn't been anything like that. And I will say that in Japan, of course, they've got dojos and
JK has been doing that for a while.
So there's that. But on a more
in the Western world,
world, never been anything like that. And so Zach and I thought in our positions, in our very blessed position to have in the kendama scene, right? At this, we realized, what can we do? What can we do to enhance kendama? What can we do to push the boundaries of the game? And we thought, okay, we have to come at this with the goal of pushing the players, because kendama, we have been upgrading kendama for 16 years, right? In the Western world, I'm just going off based when Colin Sanders got Z01. It's been around
15 years.
16 years since 2008, right? So we thought, wow, like kendama's been getting bigger and easier to play, easier to use. Paint's getting better, more durable. Everything's changing. The woods, so many upgrades, so many things, and it's been incredible. It's only been 16 years. Like it's still just a blip in time. And then you think there's never been anything done to improve or never any standard to measure up to as a kendama player since the beginning. And we are just trying to make that more of a conscious thing in players' minds. And once you connect with us, and say there's 10 people in G standards right now, and man, some players are going through some crazy changes, more not only as players but as people as well. And that's honestly the goal, because to me, it's like, if you're trying to be the best player you can be, standards are going to have to rise, and you're evidently going to go through changes as a person as well to meet your standards as a player. It's just acting with intention to become the best player, the best version of you as possible. And Zach and I are there every step of the way to guide you, support you, listen to you, and install you with a community of other people who have the exact same mentality on achieving those goals. Everybody's goals are a little different, but everybody's there for the same reason. They want to become the best kendama players they can possible. And in that process, they've already been changing their habits, their intensity, their intent, and just, I think the community side of it as well, just having a place where all this is okay to talk about and normal to talk about is huge. Because the conversations you have on a day-to-day basis, man, those really dictate a lot of your behaviors and attitudes towards things. And just having these conversations daily with these people, it's really going a long way.
It's like the people that you hang out with, you live the dogs, you come out with fleas and stuff. So it's definitely connected with that. And it really great example are those amazing teams back in the day of kendama teams and stuff, how they were just like just feeding off of each other. And I'm sure like you and your brother too, just like the backyard and in the basement and stuff, like that's all it was, that energy. So to have that in a community where people that have that same mindset can get together, I'm sure it can be really, really impactful for them. And a really cool thing that is awesome to see, that you're providing an opportunity for people who want it in the Dama world to jump on it. Dude, it's been awesome. Everyone, we're going to open up a little Q&A session with Nick right now. If you have a question about the concept that he's been talking about on 28 Tricks Later, the things that he's been spitting, his facts, or anything, let us use that little question tool down there, and I can check it out, and we'll be able to answer a question or two.
Let's go.
And hopefully there's something there. But dude, yeah, it's awesome. You and Nick have been, you and Zach and Nick and Zach and Nick again have been awesomely like creating a different podcast with the G Pod, like how hyper focused you guys are with the tech side of it, because it is such a unique thing in it. And another point of how, you know, you're showing yourself, because that's how you see kendama. Like other people, like for me, example, I see it as like just hang out and have fun, drink a beer, get slop, and just enjoy. And that's a whole other side of it. And it really goes to show those people who want to be the best they can be, or perform the best, get podium. You have to think in a different way than just hang out, socialize. So there's within all of us being the same kendama players, there's different, I guess, perspectives that you can have on playing or what the kendama means to you. So it's all amazing to see, you know, another facet within the kendama world come out, be more prevalent and understandable for people to connect with. So I think you're doing awesome.
Thanks, I appreciate that, man. I don't know, with the podcast, it was just all about, you know, people would love to hear Zach and I talk about anything. Yeah. like there are people out there, mostly in the kendama world, like I just said, like what is Nick thinking lately? You know, what is he thinking about lately? And then, oh wow, these two big pros are talking. Definitely gonna want to listen to that. And it's just providing them with that opportunity to get to know us better, and providing them with value on tips for how to do, you know, certain things about kendama, whether it be how to win a competition or the importance of having a rival, these things like that. You know, there's definitely tips in there, here and there too, but more than anything, it's just about connecting with the audience more. And we never,
And that's one thing that, with the current technology, social media, you know, me and you both right now are in Japan, halfway across the world from possibly most of the people watching right now. So it is awesome that we can do this and we can connect. Even though we're through screens, there is a connection that can be made that is somewhat similar to being in person. But dude, looks like we got no questions. We answered everything for everyone. So thank you so much, Nick, for taking the time to talk about your 28 Tricks Later concept, going to the G standards, what you've been doing, what you've been focusing in on. And as I say that, there's one question, so we're going to hit it. Here we go. Oh, let's see if we can see it. Okay, from Mariyoshi Dama. Should there be a shift in balance between scheming new trick concepts and strictly grinding hard tricks, working towards placing at comps?
Should there be a shift?
Should there be
between scheming new trick concepts
or grinding and getting a placement at comps?
Yeah, so you just have to make sure you're practicing with intent. You can't just be, Trevor said fave color. I'm just gonna do that real quick. Yellow. I like yellow. It doesn't look the best on kendama, but anyway, I saw that in the comments there. I like green on a kendama probably the most, and blue. Back to the question here. Should there be a shift in balance between scheming new tricks and placing comps, something like that? I can see.
Grinding hard.
Yeah. You have to be able to practice with intent. You're not going to go and execute everything you want to if you're thinking about all these different things during your practice session, during the time you play. Something's going to feel left out. and you're going to feel like you didn't do enough, and you're going to feel like, wow, it feels impossible to cover every base. And sometimes in different seasons of the year, you might not be able to cover every single base. You know, everybody has different time limits with what they can do with kendama per day, different ages, different responsibilities. People have all these things. So you have to really utilize, I mean, look at your schedule and be like, okay, where can I put 30 minutes of dedicated, or however many minutes, however many hours you have to this side of kendama today. For me, I've been practicing tight ropes, turntables, and taps for pretty much the past month straight. And I've been dedicating my time on different days to a heavier focus on each one of them. And I know that it's, you know, I know I'm not getting to other tricks as much as I used to, but I'm also just playing with more intentful practice, or with more intent just in general. Because all of us love to play kendama and love to just sesh around and just do whatever sometimes. But I think there's real progress to be made for a lot of people if they cut that time down a little bit. And if they have it, of course, cut the time down a little bit and just give yourself, block out 20 minutes, 30 minutes, X amount of time towards a focused goal. And over a span of a couple of weeks, that little time will accumulate up pretty well. And you'll notice that, wow, I'm making a lot of progress here that I wasn't making before, because it was never scheduled in my day, or I never made any intentful decisions to practice it. So there is a shift in balance between streaming. There is a shift in balance. You aren't going to be able to do everything all at once. You're going to have to pick on some days to do this thing, and on other days, if you want, to do the other thing. You know, depending on what comps are coming up, or if there's no competitions, you just got to figure it out for yourself and see what works best for you in your time schedule.
Yeah, I'd like to add just that it really depends on your goal. Figure out what you want to be as a kendama player. If you want to be someone who is getting on the podiums in comps, like just focus in, I would think, on just being an all-around good kendama player at the current meta of kendama tricks. So that would be this set. If you want to stand out on IG as someone unique, then you would just focus in on thinking about weird concepts that you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So I think like having that goal would be a good way to figure out what path you want to go on.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if you just want to balance in between. All right, we got new ones. Fave color from Kendama Fart. We got that one. It's yellow. It's fart yellow. I heard. Okay. Oh, one from Spiffy, going in on a little personal note, which we want to do, right, Nick? I heard you're leaving Japan soon? ?
Yeah. I made a post about it the other day.
Mostly quickly. Yeah. Oh no, yeah. It was a full post. Yeah.
It was on Reels. And
it was unreal. Yeah. I was surprised. I was shocked.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so I made the decision to go home and actually just bought my ticket the other day. I'm gonna be going back home on April 8th. And I'm gonna be moving back to Seattle for a couple weeks. But Zach is currently in Florida, and my goal is to just go and meet up with him and just go the distance on what we are trying to become. And we have our visions changed a lot in the past 6 months to a year. Want to do, and we have the same goals as each other. And we thought, we can do good work now and things like that currently in our situations. But if we're together, man, it's just going to 10x. Like everything is just going to explode.
Yeah.
And everything's better. So I made the decision. It was really tough for me. It was actually, I've never had more of a hard time my whole life.
Yeah.
Through the past October through December was just really difficult for me. But I made the decision to go back. I didn't think I was going to do that. But I made that decision. I'll be moving to Seattle back there for a couple weeks, Zach and I are thinking about hosting something there. And then I'm going to move to Florida and live with Zach and the other housemates he's having right now. Yeah. But yeah, I'm still coming back to KDBC. I'm still coming back to Japan, so I'll be back pretty soon. I've made the decision to move away. But that's not the end of Japan. Like, I love this place. It's just my goals right now have changed. So
exactly, yeah, dude. Never is. I mean, no. It's never. Oh shit! What was I gonna say? It's never forever.
Yeah.
Like because you leave doesn't mean you can't come back. Doesn't mean there's going to be another opportunity that you're going to find yourself here. It does feel like that. I feel like when most people are doing, especially in this movie thing, like, you know, I've felt the same exact way going to leaving the US, and then I've had thoughts about going back and stuff. I'm still here, you know. It is a big deal, but it's not set in stone. Nothing is. Let's hit another question. Peyton D. Henley, what do you think a player needs most to be successful in competition?
Awesome. Peyton. I love Peyton. Man, I met him last 2022 summer. So when I went to teach at a YMCA camp in Arizona, he was there. So yeah, he's a really great guy. My biggest tip, I actually dropped a video on this Peyton a couple days ago. I think 2. So I think they're 2 days ago, 3 days ago. So check them out if you haven't. But I will say, you know, you could tell someone like this to, you know, get on your practice, or, you know, try to control your nerves and whatnot. But we're gonna do all in order. I mean, obviously, yeah, practice matters, but I think controlling your nerves and being better at competition. You know, what do you think? He's asking, what do you think a player needs to be the most successful in competition? It's exposing yourself to a competitive environment as much as possible. You know, you're not going to be the best in a soccer game or the best in a basketball game or an kendama match your first time out there. Experience really matters, and you can build up in any competitive environment that you want. You know, it's going to translate. It's going to translate in some way. Most players can't make it out to every single kendama event like some pros can, and that means their experience is going to not, you know, it's going to be as frequent as those players just getting the raw competition. But you can make a competitive atmosphere for yourself with no matter where you are or who you're surrounded by. Because 1, if you have absolutely nobody, then you have your phone. And 2, I mean, it's not all just kendama. You know, I would, if you're trying to build competitive success, go play that sport that you used to play as a kid. You know, go try and play it in a rec league and build that competitive atmosphere. Just build that experience, build that exposure. And then, you know, online, like if you have access to kendama jams, maybe get some mini comps in there more often. You know, do little things like this. Compete with people online through your phone. You can make that happen because other people are asking the same exact question all the time. Everybody wants to know, how can I become a better competitor? And you just need to compete more and more and more. That's literally the only way. Like, I came from 12 years of soccer, then kendama, and I feel like I've been a pretty good competitor throughout most of my kendama career. And I know that stemmed from, 1, soccer, but also just competing with Zach in every single thing I did in my entire life. So you can you can facilitate that environment for yourself if you just lean into, I need to be more competitive. I need to expect more competition.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's something that, you know, again, with the technology we have, you know, if you have Dama homies that you're close with, that you resonate with, figure out a time, you know, even if you're not if you're in a place where you don't have homies right next to you, figure out a time like, hey, every month let's get together and just do a makeshift like comp.
Yeah.
We'll see who gets up, you know, in whatever kind of format you guys like, to give you the reps, the experience. For me, I connect this, and anyone out there who is studying a second language or speaks a second language, I'm sure, Nick, you experienced this already. Me studying Japanese, it was something that I was doing in the US before I came here, but it was BS. Like I would be stoked on it. I'd get new text. I would get like new things, tools to study Japanese. I signed up for a few night classes and stuff, and it was good at that time. But once I stepped out of that classroom or after a week has passed using that textbook, my motivation would drop. I'm not using it anymore. And that's when I was like, I have to push myself. Again, going back to our conversation about finding yourself in a tough situation where you got to fight or flight. I'm like, I need to just go to Japan because I'm lazy. I don't like studying. I need to go there. And that's my only way of survival, is to study and to actually learn. And I did do 1 year of Japanese language school, which did give me a great foundation. But the most that I learned was hanging out at izakayas with friends, going to live shows, talking with people. Yeah. That's it. So same with the whole comp experience. You want to get better at comps, those shakes, those nerves happen to everyone, but no matter, yeah, breathing can help, but just the experience of going there so many times, being comfortable about the lights, the loud music, the MC calling your name, saying 3, 2, 1, go, having this timer. We all know, anyone who has stood on stage for a comp, you know that at your house, in your kitchen, you're lacing, you're amazing. And when you get on stage, all that shit's out the door.
Yeah.
Depending on how you're feeling. But the best way to be comfortable with that is to, again, get in the reps.
Yeah.
Get that experience. You just need experience of doing that to then have, like, it's almost like second nature where your body is relaxing. You know, the breathing technique, that's, you have to think, you have to think about doing that. But experience. Everyone, our time has run out, but thank you so much for the questions. Nick, again, thank you for hanging out, going in about a lot of different things. Yeah. But 28 tricks later is a push for everyone. So hopefully everyone is pushing themselves. Hey, even if you haven't started, you don't need to start from number 1. You don't need to make up anything. You can start right from today. Like, nobody cares. It's a really great personal challenge just to see what you can do with the time that you have.
Absolutely. You don't have to restart. I think a lot of people think they have to restart. You don't have to.
No.
Participate today. No one cares.
No one cares.
Everyone wants to see. They just want to see you participate.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
Nick, again, thank you so much, dude. We'll be hanging out hopefully soon sometime. I know you're heading over to the Tokyo area, so hey, maybe we'll hang out at a jam. But
I'll see you.
Yeah, definitely. All right, everyone. Again, thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you have a good one. 28 tricks later. Enjoy, accelerate, and hey, keep it clean.
Later, guys.